朗它不是只打军事基地啊，它在发怒嘛。以色列那个铁穹系统大概拦截率是90%左右，所以伊朗那个超高音速导弹还是可以打到，
就至少也有10%，
会导致大清洗。他以为可以一举推翻政权，就没想到实力差那么多。可是他蛮大量在打，他不是所有都是超高音速，所以他有一些是去打以色列的大安区啦，特拉维夫啊，是啊。יודעים מה יהיה יומיים ברצף?
It's not only the US, all the world. We are making the war for all the nations, for Europe too, because Iran is not satisfied only to hurt Israel. They want to take all the Middle East, all Europe, and I don't want to say the rest. I'm not politics, yeah, but I understand something about this life. This is the situation. I was 100 meters from here. I'm living in this building. Me and my daughter, we heard the first alarm to go in the shelter. I woke up my daughter, I told her to come. She came, we sit in, we close the door with our dogs, and 7:07 they start the alarm. It was the first alarm. We hear the booms far away, and then the second alarm, I heard like a plane is going over our head, and it was like a big whistle, and then after a second I heard a big boom. My ears was like bombing. The door of the shelter was open. The dog ran away, and we were in fear. I took my carriage. I closed the door back. My daughter started to cry, and we waited for the Pikud Ha'oref to come and tell us to go out. When we went out, we saw that the window in the living room was broken. All the pictures were broken. Pieces from the wall was on the floor, and all over the house.
The sound was huge. Huge. I never heard such a sound. I was in the army. My parents live in Ashkelon. I passed few bombs. I passed few walls.
But it was nothing like this.
This one was a tsunami form up. Really.
美国总统川普铁了心要拿下格陵兰。根据《纽约时报》的报道，川普总统发给了挪威总理的讯息，显示他推动收购格陵兰的原因之一，就是他没有获得诺贝尔和平奖。
Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars, plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China, and why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents, it's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland.
据美国媒体18号报道，特朗普政府已向约60个国家分发了和平委员会章程草案，成员国任期原则上不超过3年，是否续任将由委员会主席决定。但草案同时明确，在首年内向委员会缴纳超过10亿美元现金的国家将不受3年任期限制。
Nation Security Council formally adopted my peace plan and officially endorsed the Board of Peace.
A Bordo Peace, come avete visto, siamo stati anche noi invitati a farne parte, ovviamente, insomma, su questo vale quello che vi ho sempre detto. Ah no, non lo sapevate, scusate. No, vabbè, io con i fusi orari sono un po' persa. Allora sì, anche l'Italia è stata invitata a partecipare al Board of Peace. Allora la notizia ve la sto dando io. Chiaramente vale quello che ci siamo sempre detti, penso che l'Italia possa giocare un ruolo di primo piano nella costruzione del piano di pace e quindi siamo pronti a fare la nostra parte. Del resto mi pare un attore molto attivo nella regione, come voi sapete, in buoni rapporti con tutti gli altri attori regionali e quindi per carità siamo contenti e faremo del nostro meglio, insomma, per dare il nostro contributo che pensiamo possa fare la differenza.
Oh, well, we are in discussions with the United States about this invitation. We very much welcome the invitation, but we'll work through it and talk with the US about what it entails and what it means. I think I would say, though, that we also very much welcome the efforts of President Trump and the Trump administration in bringing about peace in the Middle East. We need to see that take hold. We need to see the parties in the Middle East work with this peace arrangement because we need to see an end to the conflict. We need to see humanitarian assistance brought forward and we need to see that part of the world rebuilt.
Why are you accepting President Trump's invitation to join his Board of Peace? Is it acceptable to pay $1 billion to be a permanent member? And as well, do you have any concerns that this board could undermine the UN system?
Well, a couple of things there. One is that we will there is a humanitarian tragedy in Gaza that is ongoing. And Canada will make every effort possible to address the situation and provide, at first step to alleviate stop the suffering, the intensification of the suffering, alleviate the situation, provide humanitarian aid, stabilize, ultimately move towards peace and a two-state solution. So we will explore every avenue in order to do that. Second, with respect to the specifics of the Board of Peace, the President raised it with me a few weeks ago. I said, in principle, yes, obviously consistent with what I just said. I will do what I can do. We will do as Canada what we can do to achieve those core humanitarian objectives. With respects to the specifics of the Board of Peace, we haven't gone through all the details of the structure, how it's going to work, what financing is for, etc. And so we will work through those in the coming days.
$1 billion reasonable, though?
I mean, that's one of the modalities of that, money, how's it going? All these questions. Canada wants money to have maximum impact. Let me underscore one thing. Let me underscore one basic thing about the situation. We still do not have unimpeded aid flows, humanitarian aid flows at scale to the people of Gaza. That is a precondition for moving forward on this.
There is a sense coming mainly from the administration that they would like to broaden the reach of the Board of Peace and to even talking about replacing the current UN system. There's talk about charging countries $1 billion to join this Board of Peace. So it's clear that Gaza might be the beginning, but it isn't the end of the Board of Peace as far as the Trump administration is concerned. And it may, that secondary role of kind of replacing existing multilateral institutions might even be more of a priority than its primary function in Gaza for this administration, since Gaza doesn't really have any real strategic value for Donald Trump. I think this is a trap that the Trump administration laid for the international community, and they fell into it. I mean, let's not forget that the Security Council endorsed the Trump 20-point plan, including the Board of Peace, despite the fact that it circumvented existing multilateral organizations like the Security Council itself and the General Assembly. And what we know about the Trump administration's hostility toward these institutions. The board itself, the structure that's been put in place, this two-tiered board of exclusively foreigners with no Palestinians involved. In fact, the first tier is almost entirely made up of Americans. plus Tony Blair, and includes the World Bank president. And then there's this second tier that includes regional stakeholders and others, but also no Palestinians. It's really only the technical committee in which that is made up of Palestinian technocrats that obviously has a Palestinian identity and role, but we don't know what the relationship will be. Between the broader foreign entity of the Board of Peace and the Palestinian Technical Committee. So it's very important for Palestinians to be able to determine their own best interests. So are they going to defer to that Palestinian Technical Committee, or, as I think is more likely, are they going to defer to Israel as a matter of simple power? Israel creates realities on the ground. Israel has objected to the Palestinian Technical Committee. They clearly have other designs that are not about stabilization and reconstruction in Gaza. And so there's going to be that tension. Who are they going to listen to? Israel, which holds most of the cards, or the Palestinian Technical Committee that has Palestinian best interests at heart? So their priority is to destroy Hamas and not to govern Gaza or to stabilize Gaza. And in fact, those two missions are in conflict. So where will the Board of Peace land? Will they adopt Israel's definition of stability, which is to restrict aid or to condition aid on compliance with its own terms, to use aid as a weapon, to promote forces that are basically at odds with the Palestinian interest.
خش يمين خش يمين
大家好，我是主播周玉琴。很多的朋友告诉我们，太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌帮助了睡眠品质。原版的太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌，它添加有超级食物羽衣甘蓝，健康再加分。而有睡眠困扰的朋友们，赶快选择蓝色包装这一款晚安加强版，绝对是更有感。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Good。请上快点购为健康下单，而且要记得输入推荐代码，有额外的折扣优惠。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌基础版、晚安加强版，新包装改版，内容不变，抽取更方便。要吃就吃最好的。